Now, fortunately, we have a distinguished group of speakers who are extremely well qualified to reflect on this, and I'll introduce them in order. On my immediate left, Elbegdorj Tsakyagin.
Yes, that's right.
Working on that Mongolian pronunciation. He's the former president of Mongolia. He played a key role in leading the Mongolian Revolution, democratic revolution. He created the Elbegdorj Institute and is a commissioner of the International Commission Against the Death Penalty, a topic that you've spent a lot of time working on.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Thierry de Montbrel and his wonderful team, and also people in government of UAE, and for hosting us and extended this beautiful and having us here and giving us this opportunity. And this is really timely and informative gathering of world community and experts, and I'm learning a lot. I think Ukraine, since the start of the Russian aggression, they are conducting a textbook example of diplomacy for a long time. And I'm one of the concerned global citizens, and particularly from the global south, I may say. And now this Ukrainian conflict coming to the new stage, I think. Yeah, now Ukraine is a little bit fading away from the front page because of the new conflict and new war. And because of that, I think Ukraine should do more. And everything depends on Ukraine, first of all, and Ukraine should have, in this war, final say, because they are suffering a lot. And the one thing we have to think about that what Ukrainians are really saying. Before that, I would like to say that I'm in a relation with Ukraine, I'm involved in three issues quite deeply. One is environmental damage, and also I'm one of the elders which was founded by the Nelson Mandela and others, and I'm the youngest elder, and we are involved with that, and we visited several times Ukraine and met Ukrainian leaders, and also we are involved with the crime of aggression and humanitarian mission. What Ukrainians are talking about, I think last year in November 2022, Ukrainian President Zelensky introduced his peace formula. That peace formula, if you see, they have 10 issues. But first 5 issues can be discussed now. Still they are discussing. They discussed in Jeddah and Malta, and the first issue from the first 5 about the first issue is the nuclear safety. And they are talking about the Zaporizhzhia issue and the Zaporizhzhia power plant. Second issue, of course, food security. We can talk, and all world community, main players should pay more attention. Third issue, of course, energy security, and Ukraine energy power plants, almost half of them damaged, and they want to restore that, and that's an issue, and we are working with that very closely. Fourth issue, of course, prevention of ecocide. You know, because of the blow of the Kakhovka Dam and all those things consequently happened there, that's really big environmental damage, and also land mining issue there. And we are working very closely with that, and I think other interested parties also following this very closely. Fifth one, of course, release the prisoners and also deportees, including those children. I think it should happen, and we have to talk about that around it. But the second part, of course, there are 5 issues related with the Ukraine's territorial integrity and withdrawal of the Russian troops, and, special tribunal, and also the security structure and confirmation of the war's end, including the signing the document. Those are the Ukraine's peace formula. And also President Zelensky raised the issue to have peace summit in Ukraine, and before that they are conducting international diplomacy. With that, I will stop here for the sake of time, and I hope next time you will give me a floor. Thank you.
I want to get the conversation going, and then I'm going to bring in some some input from the floor as soon as we can. I want to just first put a question to Ebek Dodge Sakyagin, because you look at this from outside of the European Union. Mongolia has a special geographical and political location in this discussion. I want to ask you first about not the future, but where we are right now regarding the West and this war. The West's leaders failed to anticipate and prevent this war, Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. How much has that in itself damaged the West and its standing in the world?
I think this war is not between West and South. I mean, between the global West and global South. I think this war is actually a long-fought war between autocracy and democracy.
That's a pretty popular view, actually.
Yeah, personally, I was, when I was in office, I was very closely working with Putin, and I think I really regret that Putin started this war. I think one of the main reasons, if that free Ukraine, if that democratic Ukraine, if that Ukraine with Europe, integrated with Europe, if Ukraine became more successful, it would be that successful Ukraine would be bad example for Russia, for his rule. I think because of that, Putin started this war to punish. And my country, actually, since 1990, between Russia and China, circled by Russia and China, only democracy, only surviving 33 years, democracy there. Means that between us, there is only one country, free democratic Ukraine, free democratic Mongolia. In terms of that, I think this war has global implication. If we lose, I think we means the free world lose in Ukraine, those autocrats will be encouraged. If Ukraine prevails, free world prevails, I think those autocrats will be discouraged. Even in Russia, even in Asia, even in Latin America, even in Africa. Because of that, this war has really big global implication. Of course, this war has a regional implication that European and all we are talking about, and we call Ukraine is a gate to the Europe. I think Europe as a regional structure and continent, they don't want to keep their enemy inside their gate. I think that enemy should be outside of gate. I think because of that, Ukraine also fighting for that. And I think since the start of this war, actually the world community was very supporting Ukrainian cause and also blaming Russian aggression. And we all know that at the United Nations, 141 nations actually blamed Russian aggression. Only 5 countries, including Russia, they supported it, only 5. I think it's still this kind of support hard, solid. But there are some cracks. And because of that, I started that. Ukraine has brilliant diplomacy, and they have to do more. And also, I have, for the Ukraine, I have one idea that Ukraine should be more engaging, less reactionary. And also...
So, more engaging in what sense?
Yeah, more engaging with all over the world, with all countries, They have to rally, they have to push for the new diplomacy. Yesterday we heard the foreign minister. I think his answer was brilliant, and question was, of course, brilliant questions, and his answer was really good. And Ukrainians are feeling that something is changing there. Even in Europe, there are some countries. And because of that, I think Ukraine needs more engaging. Also, Ukraine should be more graceful. Also, Ukraine should be more thankful to the world community, even including the global South.
Okay. Thank you. We only have 1 minute and 30 seconds left, so I'd like to give Ebek Dodge Sakyagin a chance to intervene.
Yeah. You know, I think to live free, it's a universal desire, not the Western or Eastern
Sure.
or Southern desire. This is universal desire. Why we choose freedom? I think because of that. We want to live free. And in my country, freedom is non-negotiable because freedom equals to our independence. Freedom equals to our right to exist. And I know in West you may see some socialists or even communists, even friends of autocrats. I think it's not new thing. But desire to live free is very important. That's a universal thing. But other thing I really concerned that this Middle Eastern conflict, and also there are flash conflicts in Asia, South China Sea, Taiwan, and Korean Peninsula. And also North Koreans are delivering that arsenal, that weapons. They say almost 1,000 containers of weapons, and I read that. Those things, concerning. And maybe if there is more flashpoints, it may next in Asia. If that this war or conflict become more global, I think that's nightmare. Because of that, we have to talk about more issues related with the global things. Of course, we have to pay attention regionally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leah. You ended directly on 0-0. Congratulations for that. We are out of time. It's obvious that we could continue the discussion for a long time. You said there's much need for discussion. Fortunately, we are at a place where we have some brilliant minds and some really experienced policymakers and analysts to help us put things into context. I really appreciate your input from all of you. I was hoping for a frank and open discussion. We got that. It's a really, really difficult subject. I hope we can follow it up perhaps bilaterally at some point. I want to thank our audience for being with us today, and please feel free to to continue our discussion maybe in the later on.
Thank you.
Warm round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.